Who's in the house? I'm waiting for Mrs. Green Thumb. Four people in the house. Six people, no chatting. What's going on? Marilyn, Tot, Maria, BG, Mrs. Green Thumb, there you are. I'm down here at the Milkweed, Mrs. Green Thumb. There's all them freaking orange beetles. I just don't know what the heck them suckers are doing there. But anyway, let me walk you over to the asparagus and show you what I was talking about. And you wanting to know about the goldenrod? I told you goldenrod, it's a weed. This is what they call goldenrod. Even though it is a weed, the butterflies like it. The bees like it. You can see there's a wasp in it. There's a bunch of wasps in it. There's a bumblebee. Bumblebee chowing down on the sweet stuff in it. But this is a wild, we call it goldenrod here. It grows all over the place. You've never seen that weed before? We got all kinds of wild flowers in our butterfly garden here. I'm not 100% sure what this flower is, but it grows wild. It comes up every year. The butterflies like it. I saw some monarchs as soon as I come home today. There's little white butterflies flying around all over the place. But yeah, I'll show you my asparagus patch. Of course, we got wild thistles in here. Here's some more goldenrod. Right here's more goldenrod. You can see that black wasp chowing down on whatever it is that's in there. But I'm pretty sure this goldenrod, when it dries out, the seeds are inside these little yellow thingies here. So that's why we get an abundance of it. But anyway, what we was talking about in your live stream is my asparagus is right here, and it is just loaded with red berries all over the place. Now you're saying pick one of the red ones and open it up? Is that what you want me to do, is open up one of these red berries and see what's inside? Because I mean, you can see all the way around this thing, it is just, there's berries all over this thing. Yeah, I'll take one. You want me to pick a bright red one, or you want me to take one that looks like it's kind of... Well, that one opened up on its own. Here, let me get one of these bright red ones here. I'll open up this bright red one. See if I can't find... Here, I just squished it on my finger. Oh yeah, there's seeds. I see what you're talking about now. I don't see 6 seeds in this berry, but I do see there's 2. Unless those are 2 individual seeds right there on my fingertip. Is that 2 seeds on my fingertip right there? That's a big seed. And then there's still one inside this hull right here. Can you see that one inside the hull? So that's 1 seed. So this berry here had 2 seeds in it. Is that what you're saying? So are those seeds ready to be just put on a paper towel and then you would take them? Those seeds are too big? No, Mary, it's the seeds from asparagus. Mrs. Green Thumb wants some seeds. And I've got a zillion berries on my asparagus, so I told her that I would send her some. Well, you tell me how many you want, Mrs. Green Thumb, and I'll harvest them for you. So you like the looks of those two, so I'll save these two, and then I'll come back out here later, and I can pick a whole bunch of these red berries. I'll mark you and Jackie are watching it on the TV. Well, for those of you that are in here, Mrs. Green Thumb has a gardening channel, and she is awesome. She has so much knowledge, and I never knew that my asparagus that had the berries were female asparagus. And I told her, I said, my asparagus had berries all over them, and she wanted to see them, so I told her I would go live to show her. So I will send you up. I'll send you a whole bunch of these up if you want. Yeah, Big D, we don't do no wacky tobacco seeds. No wacky tobacco seeds. So yeah, this is our goldenrod, Mrs. Green Thumb. Goldenrod. I lost my monarch caterpillar. He was on this one plant yesterday, but he has moved on to different plant because he's not on here today. That's the darn thing, when you leave them in the wild, they disappear on you and they hide. I was hoping he would stay on that plant and do it to put his chrysalis up. But that's all our milkweed, and I'm gonna collect the pods at the end of the fall, and I'm gonna save the seeds for next spring, and I'm not gonna scatter the seeds until in the spring, so they'll be sure to take. And there's a whole bunch of them little yellow butterflies. I don't know if you can see them flying or not. It is loaded. We got those little yellow butterflies. Some are more darker yellow than others. Then we got the white butterflies. More wildflowers growing in here. No crazy lettuces, Big D, I'm sorry. Caterpillars do move a lot. There's a white butterfly right there. We have tons of them. This is just from, I don't know if you can see the view or not, but yellow ones and white ones just flying up all over the place. That's why we let this grow. And I even got wild clover growing in here. So that'll keep replanting itself for next year as well, the wild clover. But you can see that yellow, all that yellow is goldenrod, wild golden, and it's just a weed. And of course all this stuff right here doesn't have anything on it, but that's ragweed. All right, here's some Queen Anne's lace, Mrs. Green Thumb. You say it was just a weed, you always seen it? That is what we call Queen Anne's lace. Even though it is a weed, the butterflies love it. So these heads, these flowers, I noticed on one that was dried up, the seeds are in the flower head. So I'm going to harvest those and scatter throughout the garden in the springtime too. So I can get more of that stuff growing in here, because right now, like, that's the only Queen Anne's lace in the whole butterfly garden, and I have no idea where that one come from. But we got goldenrod, these pretty wildflowers. There's where the fire was coming from the other night. And there's the wood pile for the fire chats. Oh, when carrots go into seed, they look like that. The heads shrivel up. Got to get that wood split, but I'll probably just let it go over winter, and then I'll split it next year. But this is a non-scratching live stream. I mainly just went live for Mrs. Green Thumb because she wanted to see the asparagus seeds and the goldenrod. It was fun. We come out here yesterday morning about 9:30, so there was still some heavy dew, and the butterflies, you could see them fanning their wings to try to get their wings dried off so they could take flight. So that's how I was able to get you a couple of good pictures, because I was able to get my phone close enough before they got skittish and fly away. Well, Mark, what else would you call it wild clover if it grows in your garden and you never planted it? Wouldn't you call it wild? Because the farmers plant that stuff for hay. Yeah, all these little white flowers here. All weeds, but the butterflies sure do love them. And I want to get the milkweed to scatter more than just being all in one spot. Because this plant come from last year, these plants come from last year, that came from last year. But the majority of it just hang right there. So I'm going to save the pods and I'm going to plant them in the springtime. That way it gives them a chance to germinate and grow. Well, there's a pretty orange one on the weed right there, butterfly. But they're so skittish, they don't let you get close enough before they take off flying. That's a monarch. That is a full-grown monarch. Can you see him? He's fanning his wings. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Mrs. Surf loves her butterflies. I find them fascinating too. A bunch of little orange ones right here, fluttering around. Rick Cognetti, welcome to Scratch and Surf. I don't believe I've ever seen you in one of my live chats before. Yeah, when you walk through a garden, you get nothing but seeds and hitchhikers in your shoes. You want, Mrs. Green Thumb, you want me to send you a variety of weed seeds out of the garden? I can give you a gazillion varieties of weed seeds. Nope, you're good with just the asparagus seeds? Okay. What about milkweed? You want a milkweed pod at the end of the year when they get ready to dry up? Or are you good on milkweed? James Mann, what's going on? Rick, you hit 1K, congratulations. Yeah, sure would like to find that monarch caterpillar again. He left one plant and he probably went to another somewhere. And they're so hard to find. But he was on this plant right here. And this, you see this one where my fingers are at, Mrs. Green Thumb? That was a full leaf yesterday, and he just chowed this entire leaf. I think because he ate that whole leaf, I think he found a recliner and he's in there rubbing his belly going, oh, I can't believe I ate so much. Why did I do that? That's what he did. Now that could be caterpillar poop, or it could be an egg. I don't know. Don't they usually lay the eggs underneath the plant though? Is that normally where the eggs are laid, or do they lay the eggs on top of the plant? I don't know. I'm not a butterflytologist. I don't know. We just like to watch them. We just like to watch them. I wonder where that rascal went. So, that's what we got, Mrs. Green Thumb. You will get some asparagus seeds sent up to you. Test luck, come on. Look at the little lovebird grasshoppers just a getting it. Interrupt them. Yeah, those orange beetles just, I don't know what the heck's up with them things. They are just ugly. And I don't want to spray them. I don't want the caterpillars not to eat the milkweed. But those orange beetles, it looks like they burrowed a hole into this pod. Yeah, get off of there, bugs. I don't want you ruining all my pods. It looks like they've got into this milkweed pod right here. See if I can't open it. See what's going on. I bet you this thing's full of orange bugs just chowing the seeds down. Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, this pod will not do anything. It's all gray looking in there. Them doggone bugs. So those are a bust. But there'll still be plenty of pods. I can even go down the road and pick pods off the milkweed along the road. It's a nice thing about living out here in the country. Milkweed is all over the place. We've got some nice pods growing though, so we're going to have a good bounty of pods. They are milkweed beetles. Well, the milkweed beetles need to go to another house. Leave mine alone. So that's what we have, Mrs. Green Thumb. That's all for you. Teresa Plus 5 TV, how are you? Thanks for stopping in Scratch and Surf's channel. This was a live stream dedicated to the one and only fabulous Mrs. Green Thumb. Anybody in the channel that does not have Mrs. Green Thumb, subscribe to her, and you can get all kinds of information on gardening, fruits and vegetables, and all that fun stuff. No, it's not being sweet, it's telling the truth, because just because I have a scratching channel and that is my main theme, it doesn't mean I don't like to watch YouTube other channels and talking to you and learning about flowers and caterpillars and fruits and vegetables and whatnot. Very informative, and I appreciate your channel and everything you do. And plus you crack me up too. Anybody that can make Surf laugh is in the top, in the inner circle. And you're definitely in the inner circle, Mrs. Green Thumb. So I think I will be wrapping this up soon. We're going to go get a bite to eat. But Mrs. Green Thumb, all you got to do is email me your address, and I will definitely send you some asparagus berry seeds. That big old monarch is just flying around. It's hard to pick up on the camera, but the big old monarch's just flying around. Love to see the monarchs. Well, the email is scratchandsurf@gmail.com, but you can just go to the email that I sent you and hit reply and reply back your address if you want. Yeah, my channel name is my email. I'll have to give you a wrench too. Can I do that on the phone? Let me see here. Hey, I can do that. Look at there. Mrs. Green Thumb, you have the power of blue. You have the power of blue. Well, that's okay, Mrs. Green Thumb. My channel's not big enough to where I have to worry about having too many moderators, because nothing's going to happen anyway. I mean, what's YouTube going to do? Strike me for having too many moderators? Seriously. What's the foxtail? Mary G, what's the foxtail? Are you talking about this weed right here? Mary, is that what you're talking about? Is the foxtail? It's seeding out right now too. Look at all the seeds. The seeds are falling out of this thing. Yep, there's plenty of that. Mrs. Green Thumb, you want some foxtail seeds now that you can know what it's called? Mary G says this is foxtail. Smelly's in the house. Smelly is going to the Browns-Jets game tonight in New York. And I so want to be there. You don't want no weed seeds. Maybe I'll surprise you, Mrs. Green Thumb. I'll send you some seeds up, and I'll put mystery seed, plant, and see what grows up. I'll send you some dill pickle potato chip seeds. How's that? Yeah, this end of the butterfly garden's pretty much dud. That's why I can't wait to mow all this crap down. And then next year get the milkweed and the ragweed, or not, the Queen Anne's lace seeds scattered in here to give them a fair chance before everything gets too tall and gets choked out. Maybe a bunch of little surfs will grow up if I pee in there. I've been peeing in this field for 15 years, Smelly, and I haven't seen no little surfs come up yet. Oh, Smelly. Smelly, while you're here, here's where I got your catnip for you. And it's still growing. We still got some fresh. That's the shiznets right there, Smelly. Wild catnip. You got catnip up there, Mrs. Green Thumb? So I'm sure the seeds for this catnip is right here in the flower head as well. Break this stuff off. You can really, really smell it. Very strong. Yeah, we've had catnip every year for 15 years growing wild around here. So the cats never get tired of it. 22 minutes. I got a 22-minute stream going. 11 people in the chat for Mrs. Green Thumb. That's what's great about the Surfaholics. They join in to see what the heck's going on, and they're hanging with us. This live stream was dedicated to Mrs. Green Thumb, YouTube's best gardener channel out there. Your daughter got you the catnip seeds? Do you want some goldenrod? You probably got plenty of that up there too. All weeds, all weeds. Ms. Leah, all this land is not mine. Just this garden. On the other side of the garden is the property line. And then that field is mine. And then all of that is mine. Just on the other side of the swimming pool right there is the property line. We got 2.5 acres here. 2.5 acres. I haven't tasted an apple for a week. I want to see if they're getting any sweeter. I don't think we're going to do anything with them this year, but feed the deer. The deer like to eat them. See if I can't find a nice one hanging low. All the big apples are at the top of the tree. This one looks like it's decent enough to taste. I don't spray them so the skins get always discolored, but I'm trespassing? No, I'm not trespassing. I have permission from the landowners. From there, that landowner owns that woods. That landowner owns this field. I get permission. I'm not a trespasser. Get rich or die scratching. What's going on? Butterfly hunting. Yes, we were butterfly hunting. We were showing Mrs. Green Thumb the milkweed, the Queen Anne's lace, the goldenrod, and asparagus seeds. These apples are ready. They're ready for apple pie, apple sauce, apple cider, or just eaten. When did you put it up, Leah? I'm not getting notifications. But if you got a barbecue sauce video up, I'll go back and watch it. You know I will. Yeah, no, I saw that come in. I was live streaming, Andre. It is a good apple. We normally collect all of our apples for apple cider, but this year we still got cider in the freezer from last year, so I'm not pressing cider this year. Ashland Police got to catch me first, BG. They got to catch me first. Lee, you put it up Sunday? Well, it might be on my list. I might have overlooked it. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll look for it. So, yeah, they got their hands full chasing the red light runners. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Smelly, have fun at the game. Take me pictures and send to me so I can look for you on TV. Mrs. Green Thumb, send me your address and email, and I will collect a whole bunch of those red berries, open them up, and get the seeds nice and dry on a paper towel, and I will mail them up to you. No problem, no problem. I'm going to go get me some food. Don't know what yet, but we're going to go get something. Big D, we'll talk to you later. See you tomorrow at lunchtime, buddy. So I hope that helps you out, Mrs. Green Thumb. We will try to jump back in your live streams. I always try to jump in when I see them on, but when you go on during the day when I'm at work, it's hard to jump into a live stream. So we will catch you guys all later. Andre, BG, Mary, Mrs. Green Thumb, Smelly. Everybody have a great evening. Talk to y'all later. Go Browns, BG. Go Browns.